En route.
We're going down! Enemy trying to hit
Supply room access unlocked.
Thanks for the help, Agent. We needed it.
So I actually tried a Technician Memento Backpack Crusader wielding shield dude version of Striker. So I got rid of Striker backpack for Memento, put on Striker mask, and slapped on I think it was a different thing. I used I used Backfire initially with Crusader shield, and yeah, I hated it so much because I was doing it expecting, oh yeah, so my damage might go down a little, but with all these changes to help mitigate that while also getting a bunch more survivability, it should be an objectively better build, right? Heck no. Like, I died more in control points than this guy did. Because, I mean, initially because I was going too hard in, I was being more aggressive thinking the shield would, and I wasn't trying to use it be a tank. Like, I know a Crusader shield is way more frail than a Bulwark shield. But still, I had 6 skill tiers, or armor and skill. Like, I had a tier 6 shield is the point, a max Crusader shield. And that thing broke, like, the only way it could last is if there was just one guy shooting me. If there was just one guy shooting me, I could at least have it out and be out in the open with that guy shooting me while I finish him off. But that was it. Like, it was getting popped left and right. Of course, any kind of explosive when you're in the open is immediately popping the shield. And you know, I had like 3 more armor cores too, and that didn't do anything. I'd still die virtually instantly the moment the shield busted, or if I got flanked, which was still happening all the time. Yeah, I hated it, and Backfire just was annoying. Like, I tried to, you know, with the extra skill tiers and the skill healing and technician tree, my fixer drone was healing me a lot, but it still wasn't enough to mitigate Backfire and still keep healing me, so I just ended up having permanent armor loss with Backfire. That's when I switched to St. Elmo's engine, which was definitely better than Backfire, I felt like. But it was still like, I'm just dying too much when I was trying it. When I was doing it, I was thinking, it's like, wow, I just gained twice as much armor and a tier 6 shield, and I'm dying more than this guy is. What was the point of doing any of that? Like, it sucks so bad. Granted, I wasn't, like, totally maxed on armor, but I think I had 4 armor cores. Like, Memento plus 3 others, then I went weapon damage on the other 2. And I still had a tier 6 shield with a higher level fixer drone. And I still was doing crit damage, crit hit chance, because why wouldn't I? It would defeat the purpose in my view to go any kind of durability more, because at that point it's like, well, I should just go straight tank at that point. So yeah, it was terrible. Like, my damage was still good, like I was still killing these guys pretty quick, but it was definitely worse. Like, it was noticeably less than this guy was killing them. And the extra shield and durability just wasn't helping me survive whatsoever. I guess because, like, it forces you to play more, you want to play more aggressively, right? But then you're in the light more, and you just don't have the tools you need to survive. So then I only ended up beating the control point by eventually just playing how this guy is, where it's like, alright, I'm just going to force myself to play at range and use cover a bunch, and book it for the hills if I get freaking flanked by any guy. And I was able to win then, but it took longer because I did less damage, and at that point it's like, why am I even using this guy? Like, I should just go right back to my glass cannon, dude, because I'm fighting the exact same way as he is, so there's no point. I'm fighting the exact same way, dying the same amount of times, but doing less damage. So this is stupid. So that's my take now on the whole Crusader Shield hybrid Striker build. I couldn't stand it when I was trying it. I'm sure people are like, well, you gotta play, smarter or whatever, and I'm like, well, You would think you can play a bit more aggressively, but literally, like, you would think a tier 6 Crusader shield would still last a decent amount of time. It doesn't last a bit. If you're getting, especially if you get swarmed by a few guys at once, they'll shred your shield in just 1 second on heroic. And you'll feel like that skill was totally useless. Like, in that moment, I would rather have decoy to deploy and keep dodging backward to get behind cover while a lot of the damage goes to my decoy. Because you move slower with the shield, so if anything, you're more vulnerable with the shield. Again, if you're not doing bulwark in a true tank build, like it sucks. I don't know. I know a lot of players use that, but I tried a version of that and I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand the whole Memento Crusader shield thing. I felt like I was just dying left and right compared to this guy. And this guy still dies all the time, but you know, it's usually, and I'm still trying to figure out if I want to use decoy, if I want to use reviver hive. I definitely have determined fixer drone is best on him because that you need some the little bit of armor regen you can get is still worth it, so you can just top off your armor for hits you take. So whenever you are flanked or whatever, at least if even though you don't have much armor, if your armor is at least at max, you have an actual chance to dodge and get back behind cover before getting killed. So I find the fixer drone is just better than the reviver hive overall for keeping me alive and in the fight more often. The question is decoy better than reviver hive? Do I want to replace decoy with reviver hive and just not have decoy, but then if I'm ever flanked, actually have a guaranteed chance to get back up and to hopefully, keep dodging more and get out of there that way. And then just go further back until Revive Hive is done with its long duration while I just try and snipe guys. The LMG, like Pestilence LMG, what I've noticed with Pestilence is, of course, its Plague. It offers extra damage on the guy you're shooting, but more importantly as AoE against other guys. But also, it acts as like a targeting system, which of course makes sense, but I just didn't realize it because obviously it puts a tag on the enemy you're shooting, so you can start seeing him, and then when he dies it puts a tag on another guy within 25 meters with taking damage over time from it. But that also means you can see him, so you can actually start, like, that's what I was doing in this fight, and I think that helped me stay alive also, while also killing the guys quicker, because it's like, okay, alright, now I know where at least one of the guys is from my position. And also, he should just be, since I know exactly where he is, he'll be my next target. So, and, they're always close to the guy you killed, so you don't have to worry about booking it too far to get to your next target. It's always just right in front of you, so. Yeah, I actually noticed Pestilence, if anything, helps keep me alive better, too, for that reason. Once I start using it as a targeting system, too, because it also offers you that, too. Anyway, let me stop talking again. I'm in black mode as usual, and I rant too much as usual, but yeah, I just wanted to comment on how I tried it. I gave everything I had to the dumb Crusader version of the Striker build, and I couldn't stand it. Like the moment a name pops, for instance, it's like the shield becomes useless, and that extra armor. See, what I've learned, and I already knew this, but this just proved it even more to me. It's like, yeah, if you see my Foundry tank build, who has like 2.1 million armor, and he can solo legendary. Well, I mean, it's not just the armor, because when I did this change, this guy had 1.5 or 6 million armor. When I did the Crusader shield Memento, I had 4 armor cores. I was up to like 1.5 or 6 million, I think. So you would think, if you're only judging it by armor total, that he would feel a lot tankier on heroic. But no, he really did. I had twice the health of this guy with a tier 6 shield, and I did not feel hardly at all more durable. The only thing is, like, if I get flanked behind cover, then yeah, if it's just one guy, then I have a much better chance on that guy of surviving both with the shield and the armor. But the thing is, I mean, this guy has decoy, so he can, and then he can just, without the shield, he can just move faster too. So I honestly still don't know if it's still objectively better, even if one guy flanks you. But I do know when you're getting swarmed at all, like, it doesn't help you one bit. These higher difficulties. Now, if you were to carry someone on, like, a lower difficulty, like hard mode or story mode, then yeah, maybe that version would be arguably better. Though I've actually taken this guy right here into story mode because I still haven't finished the story, and I hate that they force you to play story difficulty for your first time doing a mission, because I really want to play on my difficulty, but it forces me to play on easy mode. This game is BS hard in my view, and yet it's also so unbalanced in another way where it forces you to play on the easy mode for your first time doing a mission, which makes no sense to me. It's like, oh, okay, I'm just forced to be on easy mode, and then yeah, I do feel like a power fantasy. Like, I was like, what? This is way too easy. Like, this guy on story mode, just having level 40 armor is enough to keep him alive for most things, and then he just one taps everybody. So he actually feels like the most broken on story difficulty, the glass cannon dudes, because they can survive as well as just one tap everything. Anyway, let me stop talking finally. Like, I tried the Crusader, didn't like it. I'm sticking back to Pestilence Max Red Core, dude, for my gun build, and it seems like the best version of it. If you just got to go all or nothing, in my view. Either you go all glass cannon, all gun build, or you go all in on tanking. That was the last point I was trying to make. So let me just make this last point: is that armor doesn't mean everything. Armor is like one of the smallest elements when it comes to constructing like a tank in this game. The reason my Foundry guy is so actually feels tanky and can solo tank even legendary difficulty is because, yes, the armor helps, but it's only a minor thing. It's the combination of the armor regen that's getting boosted by having higher armor, and this guy, of course, doesn't, because, again, you have to give up, at that point, you'd be giving up all your DPS to go all in if you put armor regen on your armor instead of, crit damage or crit hit chance. So he has all armor regen. He has repair skill with fixer drone. He has a bulwark shield, not a Crusader shield. Of course, he has Foundry that helps his shield and his armor regen even more. Then he has Catharsis. Then he has like skill repair, like Reformation Pistol, whenever he does use a shield to further help repair his shield. Like, there's so many other things that go into, and then of course he's in Survivalist, so then he has another 10% protection from Elite, and then he has all those, like, those are all his attributes. Instead of crit hit chance, he also gets a bunch of protection from Elite bonuses too. Like, it's the combination of all of that together that makes you feel like an actual tank. Just getting more blue armor cores, I feel like that alone does next to nothing. Like, I do not feel any tankier when I tried that. But just one man's opinion. But one last thing, so like I said, we used the Technician tree with the Crusader shield build, which made sense to me because you get another skill tier and skill healing in that tree for that. But for this guy, when we go back to pure red core build, I find Gunner is just to offer a tip, I think Gunner is the best specialization, because the riot foam grenades are like the absolute best grenades in the game for glass cannon builds specifically, because they freeze the enemy in place, so you're able to just immediately kill them that way. And then Gunner gets multiple skill nodes that help guns builds in various ways. Like, you get weapon handling bonuses, you get rate of fire bonuses, you get, magazine bonuses to LMG, but it doesn't work on the Pestilence, unfortunately. I wish you could mod freaking exotics, but you can't. I wish you could at least put, skins on them, but you can't either. That makes no sense to me. You can't even customize the look of an exotic. Anyway, so yeah, you get like weapon handling, rate of fire, riot foam grenades, and there's something else. Oh yeah, you get armor on kill, which just helps anybody, but that further helps your survivability a little bit. You're getting a little bit of armor back when you kill guys. And then and your armor kits give you bonus armor when you use them the long way, which is how I usually use them on a glass cannon dude. So gives you a little buffer temporarily, which is, again, more useful on a glass cannon build in my view, since on my tank build I rarely ever use armor kits, the long way at least, because I'm not behind cover long enough to justify doing that, especially because my armor regens so quickly, like there's no point. So I only ever use armor kits the fast, quick way, where I get no bonuses from them either, because there's just no reason to use an armor kit the regular way on a tank build. Like, there's never a reason. If you have armor regen, there's never a reason to use it the regular way. Very rarely, I think very rarely, maybe if I was like right at red health, Catharsis didn't pop, so I had less armor regen, and I was getting flanked at the same time. I think there have been instances, like on legendary difficulty, where I did decide to use it the long way to get back up to full armor immediately, but usually I don't. But on this guy in particular, you definitely want to use it more of the long way. I still will spam them in the open if I can, just to give myself an extra hit when I'm like dodging and weaving back to cover if I'm flanked. But that's when I usually just try to deploy the decoy and then leave that way. Otherwise, I try to use armor kits the long way on this guy. And Gunner, again, gives you further buffs to that. So Gunner, and you generate ammo on Gunner. Like, I forgot about that too. Like, the Gunner just seems perfect for this kind of pure red core LMG using dude.